just don't be and live my life. Don't take it personal, I ain't lying, I ain't hiding. I've been grinding, multiplying. I've been trying to get my weight up, staying prayed up, meditating and taking time away. You always posting up pictures, trying to look like you winning. I'm writing rhymes in the kitchen, soaking in moments we live in. Yeah, you got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG. If you got my number, don't add me, cause baby, I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. Baby, don't check for me. Taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to be and live my life. Hey. Taking just don't be and live my life. Don't take it personal, we just building. It's my season, lay foundation, make a name for generations. Please and make a, then take a break or a little vacation and chasing blues away. Hey, hey. You always posting up pictures, trying to look like you winning, or look like you always be working, soaking the moments you live in. Yeah, you got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG. If you got my number, don't add me, cause baby, I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. Baby, don't check for me. Taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to be and live my life. I'm in a place serene and pure and free. Hey, I ain't worried about what's the wave, only worry about me. Yeah. Oh, I'm taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to be and live my life. Taking just be. Don't take it. Taking just don't be and live my life. Don't take it personal, I ain't lying, I ain't hiding. I've been grinding, multiplying. I've been trying to get my weight up, staying prayed up, meditating and taking time away. You always posting up pictures, trying to look like you winning. I'm writing rhymes in the kitchen, soaking in moments we live in. Yeah, you got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG. If you got my number, don't add me, cause baby, I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. Baby, don't check for me. Taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to be and live my life. Hey. Taking just don't be and live my life. Don't.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the One Papoose Show. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, share button on your way in. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hi, good morning, you guys. Good morning. Good morning. I was debating whether to come on and say hi to you guys. How are you guys doing? I'm going to kill my TV right quick. Tired of watching that, y'all. Woo, tired of watching that. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Curtis, hello. Harlem, Beauty Loving, hello. T Zizzle in the house. What up? What up? Riri, my beautiful mod is in the house. Sherry's in the house. Hey guys, hey. I haven't gotten out to get my twisters yet, but I'm going to take care of that. Your girl got up quite early this morning, y'all. I am losing the battle with the leaves. I can't win that battle. They are coming down like snowflakes on me. I am good. Thank you for asking. I am so good. Thank you. These two big trees, y'all, is killing your girl. Killing your girl softly. But I try to keep it clean and look pretty good out there right now. Cut the grass. Then I looked at the vehicles and I was like, yeah, y'all gonna have to wait because they seriously need a hand washing right now. And I'm gonna get to that Saturday because I like to keep those clean as well. Oh my gosh, you say just peeping in. All right, honey, peep on in and peep on out. I know you are there. And that's good. Have a beautiful day if you have to peep out for a little longer because I understand what your priorities are as well. So no big deal. Hopefully this doesn't turn into a hostile platform or whatever. And if it do, guess what? I can handle it. I got it. Something a little different for you guys, right? So I do have a piece of an audio clip that I want to play because I want to try to turn the focus just a little bit, even though I know at some point, it can become hopeless because people are already in their mindset of what they want to say or do or act, period. Can't change everybody, can't save the whole world, okay? So, I think that I should start it. So, and then we'll get into it. But I really wanted to bring this. This wasn't a video that was showed back in 1961. She said, let's hope. I know that's right. 1961. And a lot of you guys, I'm pretty sure you might have saw it. But I just want to share the audio, just a piece of it, you guys. So, let's listen.
You are going to find that you are ethnically still tied to being a Negro, and that it does make a difference. And I'm not at all sure that I want to be anything else.
Some years ago, I was in Omaha, Nebraska, and I had to speak to a group of young Jewish persons connected with a synagogue in Omaha. Well, the rabbi said, "You must remember, we are 5 o'clock Jews." In other words, these persons are just another American citizen woven into the fabric of the community. But at 5 o'clock, we become Jews. The only difference here, of course, is that a Negro is a 24-hour Negro.
I think this. Last night, I had a very interesting experience. I went in the room down at the Waldorf Hotel of a visiting group here from an African country. And I visited these 3 different Africans. One of the men who was a chief and who was very wealthy asked me, why do you American Negroes put up with all of this in the South? And I answered him, I said, perhaps for the same reason that we asked ourselves for so long, why you Africans put up with the British, the French, the Italians running your country for you. And he had not seen the relationship there. But then he saw it clearly. And I indicated to him that I felt that this was a century in which we would find a resurgence of the black man and of the darker people, because the history of the world shows that every civilization has at one time been the kingpin. I mean, the Portuguese at one time ran the world, the Spanish at one time ran China, the Italians, the British, the French, all of them have had their day. And Africa had its day way early, much earlier. So I think we're coming back a full cycle. And I think the influence of Africa and of the American Negro in the United States upon its conscience is going to be felt with its full impact within the next 20 years.
I think the time has come when the white man time is running out on him. Just like the tide. He's got to go. His time is here. And there's no two ways about it. Well, if his own mathematics is correct, the cycle of time will absorb him, just like it did the Egyptian Empire, the Roman Empire, the German Empire, the Spanish Empire. Now, it has come in one piece.
And I think that if we do have this resurgence, that it will be incumbent upon us to use it more wisely out of the depth of our experiences with segregation and with discrimination, so that the human race can be brought together irrespective of color. And I don't think that this is going to give the black man any license.
The whole white man's empire is about to crumble. I hope that he can cope with it as well as we did when we had to cope with his taking over. I hope that he will be able to cope and be as humble and understanding as we were.
We'll return to Walk in My Shoes after this message from Bell and Howell. We're finding a new way to express our problem when the whites are laughing with us.
You know, I feel so sorry for Willie. I hate to see any baseball player having troubles, because that's a great sport for my people. That is the only sport in the world where a Negro can shake a stick at a white man and won't start no riot. Of course, now, don't get me wrong now. We doing all right. Hell, at the rate we going 10 years from now, you might have to be my color to get a job. I mean, let's face it, they're not making man tan for nothing. And you heard what Bobby Kennedy said about 8 weeks ago. He said 30 years from this year, a Negro can become president. So treat me right, or I'll get in there and raise taxes on you. I mean, now don't get me wrong, I wouldn't mind paying my income tax if I knew it was going to a friendly country. And we have a lot of racial prejudice up north, but we're so clever with it. Take my hometown, Chicago. I mean, you can't see it just going in there. When the Negroes in Chicago move into one large area and it looked like we might control the votes, they don't say anything to us. They have a slum clearance. You do the same thing on the West Coast, but you call it freeways. Well, anybody here from Chicago? Where do you live in Chicago? Southside. Southside, whereabouts? North side? Lawrence, yeah. How long you been away? 7 years. You're in a hell of a surprise if you ever go back. My brother just moved in there. That's it.
Dick, with this new Negro humor, what is the white man laughing about?
I think the white man is laughing at the same thing a person laughs at when they slam their hand in the car door and when it's about to heal. The problem is almost over. As Martin Luther King said, Jim Crow is dead in the South. It's just a matter of how expensive they want to make the funeral. You can always laugh at problems that's right. Everyone in the whole world knows this is a wrong. So then you can make humor out of this and matter like you enlightening people on just what's going on. No one actually knows the Negro problem. The average white man meets a Negro,
at work when we're in an inferiority position. You hear a lot of Southerners say, well, the Negroes that I've been around, they say they want segregation. They don't want to move into our schools. Well, this is what I call taking the fifth. Jimmy Hoffa and all the big hoodlums can take the fifth. Then how come we can't take the fifth? We don't need to take the first when we can't get the 14th. And this is just a matter of fact. It's the same bit in the South and up north, you know. Colored fellow working with me is one of the most intelligent fellows I've ever met. Well, who is he talking about? The janitor, the maid, give him any tips on stock? He know what's going on in world problems. This has been a bit where we say he's intelligent to make up for not letting them go to school. And this is the way we've been doing it. Some of my best friends are colored. This is not true. They don't take their best friend anywhere. They don't take them out on Saturday night. They still enter through the back door. So how could this be a best friend? And a lot of them, they don't even know the best friend's last name, just the first name that they've been calling him by for 40 years. They don't know nothing about his family, nothing about his problems. Our problems
Okay.
don't always show.
So I'm going to end it right there because I think the reason for me playing this, you guys, is to kind of bring back what I feel is lost. And I try to sit back and think about all of the disappointment that we all pretty much share with Robert Sylvester Kelly's case, right? So the first thing that he had mentioned in here was about being able to cope with the situation. And we all have been coping with the situation. Like I said, this here was back in 1961. When I think about how our civil rights activists came out to try, I'm not going to even say try, they did it. They were pushing for all kind of laws and everything to work amongst humanity equally, right? And as hard as they pushed for it, he clearly states that these people passes away, and they pass the ball on. And what I see is our humanity that wants all of this type of justice for people that are going through things like Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. We continue to drop the ball on it, is what I get out of that. He said that it was 30 years. It took them 30 years, 40 years to see if there would have ever been a Negro president. It was a lot longer than the year that he put out this audio, right? We end up coming across Obama many years later, and you best to believe that it will be many years later after that to see a black president in office. He said, he pointed out where we have didn't keep the ball going to have our constitutional rights set forth to what we think should apply to all mankind equally. And I'm not saying that they don't, because we'll get into that. He talks about the First and the 14th Amendment pretty much very deep in his audio, but I'm not going to go through that because most of you guys know what the First and the 15th Amendment says. What I want to do is kind of jump into one of the situations that Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly is now possibly going to have to face. I'm not going to say that he's going to have to face it, possibly, because it is up to his defense attorneys and everything to bring that back up in a motion, whether if Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly should as well be charged with the same charge that Mr. Williams is being charged with. I don't think it's fair. I don't think that it should happen. That is that man's charge. But we all know that they are going to continue to pull every rabbit out of their hat to keep Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly down. We had a caller on the channel the other night. Joseph called in, and couple of days has went by as I went back to replay that to really hear his message, you guys. And when I think about it, it is bigger than what we think it is. And it doesn't matter how much of of their alleged evidence and or allegations, I should say, that they are putting on Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. The problem lies is that they are able to do so out of anybody's control because of how the laws and who controls those laws. And this audio, if you would really think back with our civil rights activists that were out there who were telling us that if we did not continue to grow as one culture to fix these laws effective immediately, carry on what we were trying to do, we opened up the door for our culture to do so. But we lack, just like the other audio that I played with you guys a while back, of where it starts up from the top and it triggers down into our little boys. Our little boys, or little girls, I should say, to keep it diversified, are not being taught, not being learned the knowledge of what they need to stop all of the bias, all of the things that the other culture can do when they have so much power. It's the power of the political people that is trying desperately to destroy Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. I get it. I know everybody is like, no, they want his money and they want this and they want that. Yes, that plays a part into it with the plus sign. Plus this, plus that, plus this. Where I'm from, there's no need right now to be out there arguing about that last plus, this plus, that plus, that plus. That stuff has to come later. Will it be hard to attack the laws of what they're doing? Definitely. Yes, they are already in black and white, signed and sealed. And it's in the border. It's printed. Done. Whammo. Whammo. So everybody, including myself, we all do the hollering and everything, and we want R. Kelly due process. And after I'm sitting here and I'm reading and I'm like seriously reading, you guys, and I was like, there is some things once you start digging into it that will make you say, oh, okay, oh, okay. So once you tap on and you keep tapping on to them and you start reading the amendments and everything, it will start making sense to you, where you can like sit down and really face reality on what Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly is going through. I'm going to say this before I continue on, and I know that I might not be liked about it, or I'm going to be continually called messy and all of that stuff, but I'm going to talk about some of the facts right now. When it comes to Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly and what he has to go through right now, collecting of all of this money for him right now, it's not going to do any good. It really is not going to do any good. Continuing to make sure that Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly has adequate commissary money, that will do some good. But as far as continuing to raise a bunch of money right now at this point, it's not going to do any good unless there is actual factual information that those funds is paying solely for his attorneys to do their job. Outside of that, I just don't see no necessary for any other funds to be raised at all. Commissary, and I get it, that's what they say, that I guess that's what the defense fund will be doing. But if it has to be really known that these defense fund money is solely for the fees of the attorney. And that's it. Because he does have one hell of a goddamn fight coming forth on him. The due process. Has Kel's been given his due process? And I kept questioning and asking myself that. I was wondering if maybe you guys have kept asking and questioning yourselves that. And I know pretty much most of you probably have come up with your answer. And I guess I'm going to have to say I believe so. And this is why I believe so with things that I have read. Because they tell you that you are innocent until proven guilty, right? We would like to believe that everybody should be able to make bail at any cost so that they can have that time to try to sit with their attorneys and get their case together. We would like to believe that. We would like to believe that, but when you really dig into it, because your judicial system, your prosecutors, has came forth to put the word minor on Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. And according to the law, they do have rights to not grant him a bond. Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, because I had to go back and pull a question. I had to go find an answer to a question that I needed to know. And it was, is Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly sitting in jail without being charged? That was one of my main questions. Did you guys ask yourself that question? Has he been charged with anything? The system had approximately 72 hours to place a charge on Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. Has he ever been convicted of anything? No. We know that. We know that. Does he have any past criminal background? No. We know that. But you got to stay with what the laws says. And it clearly do say in black and white that if a charge of any kind has the word minor in it, they have that right to not accommodate a person with bail because they feel that this person would be a risk to society. With me, it works both ways. I'm like, okay, you guys keep Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly because you still have to bring that evidence to convict him in a court of law. So that's fine. I kind of sat back and accepted that, you know. I wanted him out just as bad as everybody else. Go ahead, continue on with your life. Change your lifestyle up, you know. Date the one person, you know. Get married, live another happily life, and get involved more with your children, and can continue to pursue your music and no more distractions. That was what my prayer in everything was. But like I say, after you continue reading and indulging yourself in a lot of the laws that right now we can't change them. These laws are there. They are there. And the reason why that we cannot change them is because we may look like we stand together and that we fight things together, but it's because we didn't continue on the big fight that all of your older civil rights activists started. We didn't continue on when they place a law that we did not like, or we may have felt that, okay, it's working for right now, but ended up years later to where it becomes an entrapment type kind of law, right? Works for you, but not for us. We didn't keep those million people out there marching at the same time, saying that no, that will not be there, saying that no, this Democrat can't work for us, no, this Republican cannot be in there for us. We didn't do that, but that was the door that they opened up for us. We chose to not carry it out. We settled for what they know will pacify us to keep us quiet for a minute while they continue to be able to slip in those ABC moments of their agendas that we know eventually will capture us and put us to a place where we know we can't fight. We can't stand together, and we know that. Each and every one of us wants so much, so differently in life. This person wants this lifestyle. This person wants this handown from the government. This person don't want this handstyle. This person might not want this type of lifestyle or whatever. But when it comes to an example, the different types of loans and everything out there, we don't fight that. Shouldn't be all these freaking different types of loan. What is right for the people out here? We don't fight that. What is right and what could possibly be wrong with this particular law that they put into place? Now, I had to go and ask myself another question when it came to Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. Okay, I needed to know how many people, or who was the first black man that was held ever without bond. Even during our black civil rights activist movement, I wanted to know that information, because the way we are, and because we are all catered around Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly right now, we want that, he's our main focus, right? But you have to go back and see, okay, if this is not working for him, let me go see why this did not work for other people with similar cases or such, right? Because we had to take out the legend part of it. You got to take out where, because he is this celebrity part of it. The court doesn't care about that. It's looking at this because he's a black man. He's just a black man to them. They are aware of his status quo, but we're going to treat you just as such according to the law, not because you are this celebrity. And we got to get away from that. So instead of fighting Robert Sylvester Kelly's case out here in the Black Tube streets of R. Kelly being a celebrity, and he should get this and this and this and this and this, I as well would have hoped it would have been that way. But the reality part of it, Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly is just another human being, just like you and I. So what rule should apply to Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly? The black and white rule. And that's what they're doing to him. And in order for this to have not happened to him, to allow those people to have this upper hand up over them where they can dig continuously in a hat and bring some stuff out and put it on him, we're not fighting that part of that race. Where did this law come from? Who amended this law? And when I say that it has been hundreds of people held in jail without a bond, it's been a lot of them. I wasn't even aware of that. I really wasn't. So what I like about dealing with the Robert Sylvester Kelly's case, it makes you go and think. It makes you put yourself to more of awareness, because you hear the people out there saying that yes, it could be your son, or it could be your daughter, it could be your nephew, your uncle, and all the above, right? But what are we really doing to fix it so that it cannot be, so that these people can receive what we want in our eyes as a due process? Because in their eyes, with those black and white words that's been going down the chain line for many, many years, centuries, that's what they're going by. And when they put that minor word up in R. Kelly's indictment, that, my opinion, this is my opinion, that this is why they will not give him a bond, no matter how many motions that they write up on. So then I had to go do a fact check and say, well, okay, it says that they had they have the 2 days for the police officers to submit their paperwork to the courts to do the charge. They met those requirements. They said that 75 days is enough time. That's when R. Kelly has enough time to get his legal system team on board and all of that. All of that, right? That happened. They were hired in. He got them. Now they have 125 days. Let me back up. They had so many days to either let Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly go according to the law or put a charge on him. That's where it came in, whether if he would receive a bail or charge. And they had a amount of days to do that as well. If they would have not met a certain time frame with putting a charge on Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, they would have had no reason to hold him according to the Constitution. They had to have had to release him on that ground, period. So they met that. They met that so that they could prevent that for him walking up out of there. The legal team, they know that. They put the charge on him in time, in the time frame that they were allotted to do so. And the charges, as we know, was what the kidnapping and the pornography and the racketeering and the Mann Act. They put all of those on him. That alone, right there, when they met that timeline and they put that minor in those charges, the judge made a choice to either let him go. But the judge as well knows the laws. We cannot release him. He will stay put until he goes through trial, in which that time all of the evidence must be presented in the court of law for them to find vindication. You know what? I'll just say a verdict on Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. A lot of people don't like it. What I do see now out here is a lot of Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly because he's this celebrity. And that part of it has to be gone. You cannot fight this court system with saying how good he was with his music and how good he was with the people and things like that. Those are things that's going to have to held off until if you are invited in the courtroom to speak that good part of Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. But when it came down to the actual laws that are out here, the prosecution have followed according to the laws that are out here. They followed and they did meet those guidelines. They met the time frames on everything. What's going on now is a an argument about more discoveries need to be handed down. So yes, that's going to delay it. We are at the point that we all know, we all have heard who's in these indictments, and we all know what the females had said, all on the Lifetime movies and presidency. We saw that. So we all know that part, the bittersweet part. And I know that I have that 100% faith that regardless of who his legal team may be, because there's a lot of people would like to see a different legal team in there, I do believe that they are going to be able to persuade the juror on behalf of all of these allegations and turning and to make this juror see that this was a setup on Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, and half of these people, however, did their lies and this and that. That part I have no doubt about. The part that I am speaking to you guys about only is what, in my opinion, believe of them not giving Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly no bond. And that's just how I see it. The laws were there. We sit and we do nothing about the big major part of the laws because a lot of our culture, in my opinion, from what I could see when I turn on this TV, are just not involved in. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women out here, and we don't raise them up to get involved in making the laws, to put themselves up there, to go over and be somebody in the White House. They may have it like that where they only letting so many up over in there. But until God knows when this shit ever changes, where our cultures are balanced out, our laws are balanced out and changed for the better. They put them in there. It looks like it's for the better, but it ended up being for the worst because I just see it like, okay, well, yeah, we got half of the country goes, yeah, well, if he did this, yeah, we're going to lock him up. We're going to lock him up. He did this. He did 3 murders. We're going to lock him up. And no bond. No bond. Well, that same law of what a lot of us sit in here and say when we know that we got a murder next door. I got a murder next door, and I know that he came out here and then shot and killed up everybody. And now he's up in there and they don't want to give him a bond. We're all okay with that. Put a 1 in the chat. We're all okay with that person not getting a bond. Because we know that he hurt somebody. We know that in our mind, in our vision, yeah, we saw it. But at that point, we like, fuck the law. We don't care. Lock that crazy motherfucker. Don't let that fucking man up out of there. Well, we kind of got to look at it like the way the other people are seeing with Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. He has these allegations, and they painted these allegations very well upon him. So if we got all of these other people here now thinking just like how we would think if we know that we was saying don't let that murder out. But now we got these other people over here that has seen and heard all of the allegations about Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. And they're arguing, nope, don't let him out. Don't let him out. Same law. Same thing that we were doing over here, you guys. Same thing. It's just no difference. In other words, because we know that this is Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, we're not seeing what he has to go through. And he does have to go through it. We don't want him to. But he do have to go through it. And we just going to have to pray that Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly is sitting in front of a non-biased juror. We're going to have to continue to pray that his legal team is going to do the best of the best that they are required to do for him. And that's where I sit now with Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly's case. I want to, let me see if I can bring this up, you guys. I'm going to disappear just for a second. Just for a second. Let's see. Okay. I just kind of want to read this to you guys. And this here was written 1985 through 2004. And I just kind of want to kind of put out a definition of everything of what could be pertaining to Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. However, this article is not pertaining to him, but I just kind of brought it up to see if I can find some association with it, so that me myself can always look at this case and read this case with an open mind. And just I got to take out the celebrity part of Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, because it says, an arrest is made upon probable cause. An officer believes a crime was committed and you committed it. This allows the police to do their jobs effectively and keep the community safe. It also allows your civil rights to kick in. The police have 2 court days to get the case on to the district attorney in time to have an arraignment done within 2 court days. In the meantime, you can make bail. And if the charges are serious, or be cited out to appear in court, if the charges are minor, keep in mind I said charges because he has been charged. Again, the community is being kept safe and your right to be free is being balanced with severity of the accusations. So at an arraignment, you can get an honor release, have your bail reduced, have the amount raised, or have right taken away. You could, all 3 of those was the choices. If the charges are very serious, again, your freedom is measured against the safety of the community. Keep that word community, because I want to talk about that. Keep that word community. Did I mention that you can get an attorney? Okay, skip that, free of charge, knowing exactly what the crime is, okay? There is a preliminary hearing within 2 weeks of the arraignment. This is a mini trial where the state must prove a crime was committed and that you probably committed it. If not, the charges are dropped. At this time, you are allowed to request bail reduction. Again, it can be raised at not allowed according to severity of the offense and needs for safety for the community. You also will get all evidence. I'm going to write that word evidence down. And I'm going to associate that with discovery. In 2 more weeks, it says that you will get a trial, and we all know that that did not happen because it's such preponderance amount of evidence that the prosecutors claim that they have or seeking, trying to get, and it is taking them some time. Do we believe that it should take this long, or should we allow them this much time to do so? No, in our minds we don't. But who is controlling the courts right now? The prosecution side does. They do. You also get to examine and test all evidence and don't have to present your evidence or witness until trial. What is the prosecution doing? They are holding some of the discovery, witnesses, and everything until trial. Conversely, no additional evidence by the prosecution is allowed. Keep that in mind, because we just talked about Mr. Williams' charges are now going to be given to Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly in the same fashion. They now want to have that privilege to put that charge on Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly as well. This here, when I read that, I'm saying to myself, oh my God, I hope, this is his legal defense. So they were going to know more than what we hope and what we would wish and all of that stuff. But when I read that, and I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, it says that, and I kind of do that, when I'm at work. Once I've done this and I've presented this, no, you can't go and bring me more evidence. It's like, no, because we're already in the process of fighting with what we have. If you keep allowing them to bring more evidence or what alleged evidence or whatever to keep putting on him, these people will never get to trial, you guys. This shit will go on forever. So when I read that, I'm like, no, with that alone, I would definitely be spending a lot of this will have to go away. No, whatever is presented in front of the judge right now, and that grand jury, that right there with inside that indictment, what you indicted him on that part right there, that's going to be it. That's what we're going to trial on. But somehow, somewhere, allowance was done to put Mr. Williams' charge on Mr. R. Kelly as well. Make no sense to me, but it says as conversely, no additional evidence by the prosecution is allowed. But then they add that unless part. Can't stand it. Unless you are giving plenty of time to examine it and it doesn't affect your right to a speedy trial. With Mr. Williams, this is definitely going to affect his right to a speedy trial because the prosecutors continue to believe that they hold all balls in this courtroom. And the legal defense team should have chewed this shit up immediately. But that's it's crazy how they can get away with this stuff. So it says at trial, you'll get help to pick a jury of your peers, question or witness in evidence. Present evidence, represent your case to the juror twice. Explain what you think all evidence means before and after evidence is presented. 12 people must vote against you, and they must be sure beyond a reasonable doubt to convict you. The state must prove you are guilty. You don't have to prove you're innocent. With that part right there, and this is what I associate with, you know what? I'm okay with Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly right now not getting a bond to come home for right now, because Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly has been stating all along from day one, even from his 2002 through his 2008 trial, that he was innocent. And I'm going to ride with his innocency. If he believes and he knows that he is, I would like to see him go on with your trial and make sure that his legal defense trusts in his innocency and bring all of Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly proof of what he has to make him innocent, for this juror to find him not guilty on all freaking charges, so that now he can be released with not being having to register as a sex offender or anything, nothing else up underneath his belt. So yeah, let's move on. It says that you are a suspect and a jury must consider you innocent until proven guilty. So if you decide to not use the jury and select the judge, and God knows I would not like to see this judge. I would like to see a juror, and I like to see what you guys think about whether if Robert Sylvester Kelly should just have a judge preside over his case. I don't see, but I'll be back in a minute. You still aren't, it says that a judge must consider you're innocent until proven guilty during the trial, but you still aren't released because before that decision was made, a judge decided in the best interests of public safety, community, minors, you guys. And when a judge hears that, they're going to side automatically with the prosecution to not release him on bail. At sentences, you and your attorney can get to make recommendations for your sentencing. The probation department sends the judge a report on what they think you deserve as a sentence, and the judge must then take into account the law, your prior record, a lack of it, and what is in the best interest of you and the community. And of course, it can be appealed as well. The system is designed to protect the rights while balancing the safety of the community. If people were honest and showed up for court and stopped committing crimes, okay, this is unnecessary to read, but I'll finish it. Incarceration wouldn't be necessary. Overwhelmingly, though, they do not. They run, they hide, they lie, continue committing crimes, and refuse to go back to court. And of course, they are blamed. So, if you are just now coming in into the chat room, let me say hello to everybody. Hello to everybody. So, okay, so I kind of wrote some of my notes down. And like I say, I associated the evidence with the discovery in that message that I just read to you guys. And, you know, it talks about his case, you know, being tried into a jury. And I asked you guys, what do you guys think? Put a 1 in the chat if you guys think that Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly should just have his case presided just with the judge alone, or do you think that he should be heard, his legal defense should present it in front of a jury? And my vote is, I think that as long as Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly keeps claiming his innocence, I think that it should be heard in front of a juror. What do you guys think? Hi, Chris. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Because that's what I think. And then I'm going to talk about the, they talked about the word community, right? And when it came to the community, as we all know, there's not just one, there's several of petitions that are going around for people to sign. And I believe what I think that they are for is so that the judge and possibly the prosecutors or whatever can see a number amount of people out here saying, no, release him. The community is safe with Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly being in it. So I guess I'll have to look at the petitions that way. However, to my knowledge and from my understanding of what I did here off of a video, I believe that the petitions right now that have been signed has not been presented in the courts or to a judge right now. They're thinking about whether if they want to put this information out there in front of a judge. And so, I don't know. You guys signed the petition, and you heard the petition talked about. You want to, I believe some of them are closed. There is still one that's open, and it is on the change.org website, and it's going to pop right out at you. That one is still up and running, and no, there is nothing on there for you to check a box to do any type of donations to the website or anything. So one of them has closed, and change.org, I believe, still has their petition open. However, I don't think that there's nobody out here that is speaking publicly to you about that petition. So I don't know who has it up or none of that. I do know that there's you can sign that one, and hopefully it'll go the way that it's supposed to go. So Juicy says that, but in a jury trial, the judge has to go by the juror's decision. Absolutely. Yes, it's what they say. I don't think that I would like to see the judge making the decision on his own, Juicy. I really don't. I don't. So what is holding this trial up? And we all know that, yes, it could be possibly be the discovery and everything. It says in the message, it says that who holds the balls in the court? Well, yeah, the prosecutors do. So Do they have to give up everything that they have right now? No, they do not. They can literally wait until the day, like of the day before of, to start a trial on it. And at that time, yes, the legal defense is going to have to presumably know who they coming with. They're going to have to know. And I get the arguments, well, we need to speak to our client and everything. Yes, it will help because Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly will be able to sit there side by side and giving Mr. Greenberg or Mr. Doug Anton the information that they need to their questions. Like, is there anybody else you dated? You know what I'm saying? They need to know all of these people. Hello, Trigger. Hello, sweetie. And and so, yes. But it goes with saying, though, it's not the celebrity, you guys, that they are fighting. It's not the celebrity that the judicial system is fighting right now. They are just fighting another human being, just like you and I. Just like you and I. Weinstein, they just dropped more charges on him. They just dropped more charges on him. You ever figure out how they do that? Because they did it. They dropped more charges on him. I think 2 or 3 more charges. Some old goddamn females, they come out. Me too. They put it on them. It was just that simple. Now, if they are able to do this with Mr. Williams, who acted on his own, where and what law says that it is okay for them to take what Mr. Williams did and drag it on over, copy paste and put it over here on Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly only because they had allegedly some association. Well, I know you guys from being in the chat room, but it's just that easy. It's just that easy. What are the legal defense team is going to do according to law? Is there a law that says that, hold up, you can't do that shit? Is there a law that says that? Did you guys look it up? Is there a law that says that you can't take another man's charge and put it on me because I know him? Because I flipped burgers on a grill with him? Ask yourself that. Go and find one. You're going to find one. I promise you that. You're going to find one. They found one. If they didn't find one, they wouldn't have did it. It's just simple as that. It's there, but what we see is the big ones. We see the big headlines, the words that jump literally like right out at us. But up underneath that big headline that you're reading, it's going to be a B, C, D, a minor A, B, C, another minor AB1, AB2, sanction this. So it's going to be there. And that's why they have, when they put together these legal defense or the prosecuting team, you got one person doing this, one person. Everybody's got a job. Everybody's got a job to do. If there was only just one prosecutor, you best to believe that they'll be missing a whole bunch of shit to put in a case. They would. But when you have a team, each person is obligated to do what? So they got one sitting on there with the old big brain. This the one that went to Harvard, y'all. They got him. And he's digging all the way back into something that was probably 1948, and it was amended in 1960, and then it was amended again in 1992, and amended again here in 2019. Guess what? We could use this. It's there. But the laws and the way they get implemented in there, it comes from your politician. Your politicians comes from who? You guys. You guys do what? You vote them in there. You vote them in there because of what? Because of what you hear them saying to you on these podiums and everything. No background check. Well, let me see what the shit you put out Fuck it. Pull up his shit of what he did in his goddamn law school. Let me see some of your goddamn paperwork. Let me see some of your what do you call them, your essays and things that you had to turn in. See how he wrote those up and everything, because it's in their words of who they're going to be once they get out here to have that type of control. And they do it. The doors was open. 1961, 68, Martin Luther King came through. Your civil rights activists has been, they opened this door. But instead of us growing and keeping millions of people out there, when we see them sneaking in this one, hold up, there go your next march. We don't want that bullshit. But we don't fight that because they done handed us down something that appeases us. All right. They hollering about this and this over here, and the white folks live all up over in the big, nice communities in the mansions. Well, you know what we'll do? We'll just open up some little loans for them so that they could be able to apply for this type of loan or whatever. Drop the credit score down on them. Loans bullshit. Get you into it. I know there had to be some bullshit loans because I live in Chicago. And most of the people over there that bought these goddamn homes, west side, south side, or whatever, all goddamn it fell apart. People couldn't afford the loans no more. Either you can afford the loans, or now your house broke and can't keep your fucking house up, or you ain't making enough to pay your fucking taxes on it. Then they take your home back. It is crazy, but we let it happen. So I think where I'm going with this, you guys, is yes, we can continue up the fight of Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly as this celebrity in the eyes of us. But in the eyes, in that courtroom, Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly is just a person like you and me. Those laws, yeah, that they sit up there and they write, and none of us check them out to be out there to fight against them, is slipping right on in and right on in. I did pull up how many people were sitting in the system with no bond. It is a lot, y'all. It is over hundreds of people. It's hundreds of them. It's hundreds of them. So, on the other hand, when I hear from other bloggers that sit out here and speak about the unjust of the people, no, I think it's the unjust of the laws. You got to change the laws. You can't change the laws just by going out there voting for a person because they stood on that podium saying, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. You got to dig. You got to have time to dig. Election comes around in November. You had all the way from the time that they spoke out to say that I'm going to be, I want to be this candidate for this and this candidate for that. That was the time to open up and dig way back like 20, 30 years on that person. Because I'm pretty sure that person got some fucked up essay or test paper out there that they had to do before they completed the law school. But sometimes you got to dig back, you got to dig that far back to know who you are putting in charge. But the only time that we seem to want to focus on when it matters is when it's one of ours, like ours. And with the Black Tube Street, everybody's claiming Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. He's ours. You can't have him. You can't have him is what we want. Should have fixed all that other shit that allowed them, that's going to allow them to keep him until he goes through trial. We should have fixed that shit first. Like, I'll give you an example of how I'm thinking. Okay, you say you want to put minors in there to hold him, right? You want to put that in there. We're going to allow you to do that. But guess what? You have a certain amount of time on this minor case to bring it forth. If not, he will be released. It's got to be written that way. It can't be written with the unless or the and. It's got to be blunt, period. When you put the unless or the or, it opens the door for them to have the advantage to slip in something else that's going to override that bold part of it. And that's how they work. That's how they work. I don't know. It is crazy. But that's how it works. And this black YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, a whole bunch of them, it can work. But you got to be, you can't be one no more. Can't be two no more. You got to hit it now with hundreds. You got to hit it with hundreds. You say you want to, I'm not going to say the word work because there's people that says that they don't work for Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. But you hear everybody that wants him free. If you want him free, then you working for Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. I don't care how you put that. And I'm sitting here putting time and energy into it as well. That means right now I'm working for him as a voice. You work for him as a voice. This can turn around, go back, get the message from the doors that was opened up from your civil rights activists that opened this door for you people. Put everybody back on this same page and fight these laws. You have to fight them. There was that little minor fight with Kim Fox's office. Can't stop there. Can't stop there. I was laughing at myself, right, because everybody had their panties in a bunch about Mr. John Legend, right? And I clicked on the TV. Most of the time, TV is on, not on. I used to watch TV quite a bit if I'm kind of relaxing and laying down. But when I'm moving around, I don't watch it. So I clicked the TV on. It's a commercial on, you guys. This commercial has predominantly all white folks in it, and it was speaking on some things about the election, Biden and Trump, right? And I kid you guys not, John Legend was on there, and what I heard him say, I just, you know, this is what my expression was. That wow, dude, you know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna have those. I don't like to use the word sellouts, but when you are on your agenda, because everybody has one. And I don't ride with the clause, money is the root of all evil. No. People make money evil. The people do. You allow yourself to become evil with the money that you do have. You may see these black money people sitting up there in office, but once they get up there and they fit in with the other ones that is making these laws that some of them are unlawful, are unjust to your people, are fucking insane. We're gonna get to to where if you run a red light, that's gonna give you a fucking mandatory 20 years. Those type of people like that. They fit in with the money up there. They fit in with those people up there. They start to learn that behavior up there with them. So they're no longer you and I. They're not. And I'm sorry, you can't really find I have to say the black culture up there that do stay humble and stay to the people. Don't get me wrong. I hear that Mr. What's his name? Start with an S. Over in New York. Is he a senator or something over there? Mr. Shoop. I can't even pronounce the name or whatever. I hear his fight out there, you guys. But his fight as well can possibly be his agenda. Keeping him in good. Give them a little something. He's going to continue to make the big bucks, though. They're never going to. He's positioned himself where, I'm trying to think of the man name, SHCH something something, blah, blah, blah. He's over in New York, okay? He's positioning himself. And I don't want to say Biden, but I have to use Biden because he is one of the electors. He's out there running for the race, right? And he has a lot of right now the black culture. Schumer, thank you, Sherry. Yes, Schumer is putting some things out there that will benefit the black culture. Okay, um, Biden, he's putting a lot of things out there that will benefit the black culture. He's almost close to talking black in a minute. However, what is his agenda and what are you really doing this for? I can't, I ask myself over and over, why is it that we don't have another Martin Luther King out there for us, or another Malcolm X out there for us that sits up there in those, those big senator seats and all of that? Why are they all white? I guess I got to ask a goddamn question. I'm going to ask you guys a question. Why are they all white? Why is the country still predominantly leading by all white culture? Somebody explain that to me, because I'm lost with that shit. We got all of these mothers out here that has had sons. And you mean to tell me that we have not yet gained control to balance out the White House? We can't balance this. Put a 1 in the chat. Just answer me. I'll make it easier for you guys. Are we going to ever be balanced out? Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat for no. Put a 1 in the chat if you feel that we will. Put a 2 in the chat if you feel that we will not. We're never going to have it balanced. Why is it always like this for the last hundreds of years? Why? I can't understand that. Why is it that when I click on a TV, that most of the commercials or movies or things is still 75% white culture? Nobody wants to answer that. You say too that we're not, because I don't think that we ever will. And this, they say it's because they keep us in what, oppression is that. But if we stand together like they open the doors up for us, can't we ever gain it? We just can't. And I know everybody say our reasons is because we fight amongst ourselves. We fight amongst ourselves is because we still struggle with that anger from slavery. It was a learned process. They taught us that, to be that way with each other. We can't teach ourselves to come out of that gap, to come out of that learned thing. We can't do it. And I was like, all right. But that's what I see. So when I see Biden, who now has some black culture behind him, I do Trump. And I see Trump, but I'm not looking for Trump. I look around Trump. I look around him, even on his cabinet. I don't see too. Put a 1 in the chat if I'm blind, but do y'all see any black people much behind Trump when he talking on those podiums? Do y'all see that? Because I would like to see him. Where are they? Biden, he's diversified his, but we're going to get to that, because then I'm going to get ready to get up out of here unless you guys, somebody wants to call in and say hello. Exactly, Sherry, and this is exactly what the audio was talking about, is that he said they open it up to take, to have our own. A lot of people I talk to personally, right, they'd be like, you know what, they should have kept us separated. We would have been more powerful. And I question that. Do you think that we would have been more powerful if we would have just killed each other? Because we kill each other. So I'm like, make that shit make sense. I'm scared. I like not like scared like that, right? Because not like that. But I was like, no, I done seen what a bunch of black folks can do when you put us together. So I'm like, you want us all to be on one planet? You put us all on one planet. Who is this shit? Shit. I don't know, because we are genuine individual thinkers. And it just makes us all rage out differently with each other. And don't let me put too much hay on the top of my house and ain't no rain coming through it. And because you didn't get the hay that you needed for yours and you got rain coming through it, you want to fight me. You want to burn down my house. So we be on that type of shit like that. We not on like, well, come on over here. You live in here with me for a minute till we get enough of hay or whatever so we can help get yours. And then we'll have to, we ain't on that shit. We can't never get on that shit. But what I'm talking about with Biden and Schumer and others, right? They throw you these little things out there to appease us, make us quiet and everything, and not doing all of our real fact check about, okay, why you doing this for us? Why you? Because I want to know, and that's how I am, right? So what is your agenda? This is how I look at it, and I could be wrong. When they do things like this right in front of our face, like I said, we all have an agenda in life. Could it possibly be, and this is going to associate what I'm saying with what the caller Joe called in and kind of talked to us about, right? Now, Biden, let's just say, Biden now is coming up on the same charges as Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. Let's just allegedly speak this, right? But because Biden sat up here, he did so much of what those people wanted him to do and to say, because he's getting a lot of this. Everybody's got a boss or somebody that they got to listen to, right? But now he's in trouble. You want to bet that they're going to cover Mr. Biden's ass? You want to bet? They'll cover his ass because he's made his way up here to put this type of law out and this type of law out, which we know predominantly, most of it, protected their ass. They protected their ass. But he gave us a little bit of the icing on the cake to eat off of. You feel what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you guys? Put a 1 in the chat if that made a little sense to you guys. So when Joseph called in, it pushed me to think a little bit further, and I'm not the one to get deeply into politics or the biblical part of life. I don't. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. And I can say, and with me, I think that's why I chose. I better not say that because y'all might throw some apples and oranges at me on the screen. So I'm not going to say that. I'm going to keep that to myself. I'll just say it's kind of hard not to say it. I don't get involved in any of the political things. And I know it's wrong. It's weird and it's wrong. No, I won't do that. I won't. But I could tell you what I will do, because I try to trust my people, right? And once I know that I can see my people out there fighting for equality, for better laws, for the justice systems to work for, everybody, and everybody is receiving the same penalty upon the same incident of a crime and everything like that, then I'm walking with you. Then I'm voicing with you. I am. Because now I'm like, okay, we're doing something. In my opinion and how I am, there's no need for me. And I get it, you guys. I get all the political things. So don't throw onions and tomatoes and shit at me until I see what those political people are doing that works effectively, fair. My people are satisfied. We are out of oppression. We have stopped killing each other and everything. I just might one day, before I die, go press that button for somebody in the presidential seat. I have not seen a change of nothing. Obama a little bit. A little bit. I follow it, I watch it, I hear them. Nothing that nobody who has been on that president has really satisfied and put this black culture where they need to be on the map. I don't fall for the sprinkles on the cake. I don't fall for it. So I have to make a choice to say, live right. And as long as you live right and you do right, you treat people how you would like to be treated, I know that I am highly favored. I ain't got the question. I ain't got to pray on it every day. And all I say is thank you. And I know I'm okay. I've made it all these years with no illnesses or anything because I've chosen to do right. I don't have to know all those scriptures in those Bibles. I don't have to take them to relate to somebody like the man next door that killed all these people. I'm just saying there's nobody next door. Okay? I would walk by and say, just do right. That's all you need to know. Right? From just do right. That's it. And that's what's been working for me. That's the juice that has been working for me. A lot of people I'm seeing out here, I don't know. I don't know. I can say that, I don't know. Like I say, there's the little G and there's the big G. In using God. That's, I'm going to say that on that. So, I'm just saying, you guys, when you guys are out there and you're picking and you're choosing to put someone in order to make these calls over your life, be careful. There's not really much that hundreds of us can really come together to even do right now to say, let Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly out. Does it help? Yeah, it will help a little bit. We might just be able to touch one of them. We might. But with him going through that court system, they're going to take him on this journey of what we call a trial. They are. They are. What should be happening right now is people out there digging up. Can these prosecutors do this? Why are they doing this? Or however, his legal defense already knows what they can and they cannot do. We have to trust that they're moving in some type of way when they, moving in some type of way. Have to trust that. I don't think that it should happen. You take one crime or whatever, what one person did. Oh, that's just the people across next street. Let's just say that they done did something, but you know what? We want to get Papoose a charge on the same shit. That just doesn't make sense because I know them now. That's some shit right there that you should be hearing the noise going on the Black Tool streets right there. That's where the attention is because they're doing exactly, in my opinion, what Joe is telling us what they're doing. Right in your face. Right in your face. And in order to do those things, it is coming from your laws that permits them to do the shit. You feel what I'm saying? Put a one in the chat. I need to know y'all woke out there. One in the chat. Beauty says that she doesn't either, and it's a constant battle in my household because of my old man is more in tune. It's, you know what? My mom rides my back about it, girl. My mom rides my back about it. There's a lot of people that I do associate with, and that were voters. And with this election right here, there's a lot of people that I'm around that chooses to not even vote this time. Isn't that crazy? Chooses to not even vote. These are hardcore voters. They sit up and they battle and they debate and And this year I get to hear them say, neither one of them. I get to hear, but one got to go. One got to stay. Pick your poison. That's what I call it. Pick your motherfucking poison, because that's exactly what they're going to keep feeding you. Exactly what they're going to keep feeding you for the next goddamn 30 years, unless you guys or us guys or we guys or they get back out there and stay on their fucking heads with what I liked was called that Million Man March, because that's when some things changed. Some things changed when all of those people got to that Million Man March took part. Some things changed. But see, that's the march that has to keep going, whether if it's annual or quarterly or every other year. Pick your fucking poison. Now you're winning. Hold up. Let's see that. Scrutinize your fucking aldermans and shit all in your neighborhood. Because if they only out there just because they got to get the big house and the 5 cars, they got to go. They got to go. Pay attention to these shit. You got to go. This what you here for? You got to go. Immediately when they come in, and this is another thing that I hate about it though, beauties, we talk about laws, right? Somewhere, somehow, people got it. What is it? It's the system is designed where once a person is elected that they are in there for a term, right? I don't like that term shit. That term shit keeps them trapped up in there to where they can keep doing fucked up shit. Put the ABC up under that term shit, because the minute hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people know that, allegedly, I'm just saying, Biden, well, is about to act and do some fuck shit. He got 3 days. Pack his shit. Get up out of here. Get up out of here. We can't do that, though, because the law protects them. It makes us stop fighting. You right, stop fighting to get these motherfuckers up out of here. Some crazy shit. How long has they been trying to get fucking Trump up out of there? Oh, we went through the session of, oh, let's impeach him. Impeach my ass. He ain't going no fucking, because the fucking laws that we don't read, yeah, protects him. And then they sat there at that table debating, didn't they? Big old round ass table up there in the White House or whatever. And guess who money they steady reeling in for that shit? Fucking taxpayers shit. And they still rich. Now they sitting up there, took all this fucking money, all these months knowing that people needed more money out here. We got to decide how if we gonna do another stimulus thing. It shouldn't even been up for a goddamn discussion, if you ask me. Ain't no motherfucking vacations around here when I got people losing their fucking homes out here on this earth. Are you fucking nuts? Ain't no fucking vacation. Y'all got enough fucking money. Sign the fucking paperwork. Get it out there. Keep appeasing these fucking people if you want them to keep believing your bullshit. That's how I was looking at it like that. What you gonna lose? It's they fucking money anyway. It's recycling in the fucking world from taxes and shit. Couldn't do it without that. You had to fight. You got to sit there and watch. Excuse my thought, you guys. Your white culture, whatever they were, sit around a table to battle out whether if they want to give you a measly fucking $1,200 to get bread, milk, and cereal, and we still bust our ass out here. That shouldn't have been a fucking argument. Shouldn't have been a fucking debate at all. Y'all go on vacation. Don't come the fuck back. I would have fired every last one. The Republicans on that side and the goddamn Democrats on that side. Everybody would have been gone. Gonna start this fresh again. These people need money out here. All I need y'all to do is agree and sign it, and let's move on to something else. Hopefully that will work for a little bit while. If they come back again, we will look at our budget again. But this unknown fucking disease that came and hit us out here was unexpectedly. We didn't know where that shit came from. We don't know that. So that was something that your government had to just chop it up and chew it or suck it down with a straw. Give the people what the fuck they need right now. We don't know what this shit is. Now what they doing out here. Everybody and their motherfucking mama selling y'all goddamn face masks. Coming up on a dime. Coming up on a fucking dime. Stop buying that shit. Go get your fucking goddamn scarf and shit and go out there. Coming up on a dime. Took my baby to go get her fucking nails done from the Chinese shop, right? Didn't want to go, but this is her. I taught her. She's aware of it. I've showed her the video on what happens when as we continue to support these people, right? I felt bad. But I don't have a black shop here to support. My baby wanted her nails done. What do I do, you guys? And this is how we get trapped in this shit. Tell my baby, no, I wanted to. I really did. Because I know. But it's hard teaching it to that age. All I can do is bring awareness to her, right? But I tried. Mom, please. Okay, let's go. Going into the nail shop, you guys, they got this big sign up and you got the prices on there. It's not the price that I'm fucked up in the head about. What I'm fucked up in the head about, which I should have turned around, and I did not, and I felt bad that day. This was Saturday. Felt bad. They got this fucking sign on top of their prices sign. Know what it says? Due to the fucking COVID-19, there is an additional $2 extra charge on your service. I was mad than a motherfucker. You're charging for something that was unexpectedly put out here to kill people? Are you fucking nuts? I was livid, y'all. Livid. But my baby wanted her nails done, so I had to make a choice. And I get to hear her say, well, Mom, it's just $2. It's just $2, baby. But it's the $2, motherfuckers, that I'm finna give to these motherfuckers to use this fucking excuse of making an extra fucking $2 because of the COVID-19. And I was fucking livid, but I couldn't show that. I couldn't. Y'all just don't know I was livid in a motherfucker. So, but I watch shit like that. How many of y'all watch shit like that when y'all go do things? How many of y'all watch shit like that? Because if it was just me and I was walking up in there and this wasn't my baby, I wouldn't have got no service. And I didn't. I didn't do mass. She was, Mama, do yours. I ain't doing mass. Can't give these motherfuckers a $2 for some shit that's out here killing people. Think. Use it. Be wise about it. You see that shit up there? Fuck they service. Fuck they service. You killing? Are you kidding me? I was telling y'all, I was livid. So I'm just saying, you got Biden and Trump out there doing all this fucking goofy shit. You want people to come out there. Then they sit here and they tell you that Biden has jumped ahead due to the fact that Trump is diagnosed with this fucked up whatever, COVID-19 or whatever, right? Went beyond the doctor's request of, quarantining and staying put. He jumps in the fucking car, rides around and waving to people. Biden jumps ahead about 35% of each other. That's the shit that they feed us. The shit that they feed you. In 2 days, that motherfucker jumped ahead because Trump ended up with the diagnosis of alleged positive COVID-19. The fuck out of here. Pay attention, y'all. They feed us anything. They'll feed us any and everything out here. So, I'm going to, if you guys want to call in, the phone line is open. That's fine. Just to say hi and how you guys doing. It is 2:39. Pap has to get on her way. I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary that I brought to you guys today. I see all of the other things that are going on around YouTube Street, and I do indulge and laugh my ass off at it. Period. And I'm going to continue to laugh at it because while you guys are about to kill each other and continue to expose on this, guess what? Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly did just get dropped another goddamn charge that another person got charged with. Now sit and think on that shit. How the fuck did that happen? Why did that happen? Take that shit off of him. He wasn't out there. You guys would have known on the phone. When it was done, he would have made the calls. And if you don't have any of that shit right now to show me, drop that fucking charge. That might be the type of language. You know how Malcolm X marched down there? When the Panthers marched down there because they had locked Malcolm X up. And they wasn't leaving in front of that goddamn jailhouse until they let him out. And them white folks' eyes went like this. But they came with hundreds of motherfuckers. And when you see dark, you put a lot of black folks together, it's dark than a motherfucker. It's just black. And that goddamn man was looking out the window at like, what in the fuck? He didn't know what to do. Oh my God. Let that nigga out is what that white man did. And they let him up out of there. That's the force that needs to be revisit on these fucking laws. Another 1 million man march It's due. It is so due. It's over fucking due. Look at the two alleged morons. And I'm sorry if you're voting for Biden that you guys got up on that fucking podiums. Make your choice. Pick your poison wisely, because as you watch them and as you watch how these laws are being used to put on Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly however they see choose fit, pick your fucking poison. Pick your poison, because it's all poisonous. It's going to kill us one way or the other. Pick your poison wisely. Pick your poison wisely. Let me see you guys put some red hearts in the chat room. Give the person above you a blue heart. Give the person below you a blue heart. Give yourself a blue heart. Give Pap a blue heart. I hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. I thank you for stopping by. I'm going to check on some of the things that you guys were saying. Pap with the interlectic and the grammatical errors. The back and forth going on in these YouTube streets has become a thing of the past for me. I just might show you go ahead, huh? That is your right to do so, honey. I don't know, but what we're seeing in the Black Tube Street, and it's because we've become close to it, because this is what we're clicking on. Yeah, and it does looks bad upon us. It does. It really does. Is it new? Nah. You know, used to this shit. You had to know this shit was gonna go down. You had to know that it's something else that I be wanting to touch on, but I'll be like, you know what? And I have, I think some of my learning thing comes from, and I hate to say it, was with Tasha K. Because Tasha K says something very important when you are trying to become a blogger, or, you're on this video and you're speaking with people. You do have to write it out with tough skins. Everybody's not going to like you. Some is going to love you. Many might hate you. You can't pay any attention to none of the emotional effect that you get out of people online. If you want to build, you're going to have to take the bitter with the fucking sweet. And with that being said, I am going to drop it because it takes her. I got to replay her in my head. And I realize it takes that to become successful. With me, my successfulness is just speaking to you guys. And I feel like if I allow people to take that from me, I would come on less and less. And I don't want to do that. I want to come on and rock it out and talk to y'all. I said rock, okay? I'm up here around the goddamn rock and rollers. They tell you it's a learning process. You be around what you adopt. You adopt it, you adapt to it. It changes you up a little bit and all that shit. So I said rock out. Whatever. But I saw some things other day. Let's go on and get. Can I do some Madness Monday for just about 5 minutes? Can I do, if y'all put some ones in the chat, I'd like to do some Mad. Thank you, Chrissy. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Can I do a Madness Monday? Just give me 5 minutes. Just give me 5 minutes. Can I, if y'all give, hashtag 5 minutes in there and that way, woo, y'all. She says, I don't either. I'm bitter. Okay. Tizzle says the courts are going to be even more biased because of the 200 plus judges Mitch McConnell appointed in less than 4 years in the circuit courts for life. Obama had 8 years only. That is facts. Well, Pap, I would never get down with these bloggers who says God knows my heart, praying, play. Girl, me and you is on the same page. That is 100. I just can't do it. The laws won't change unless we the people change the system. That's a fact. 100%. I'm riding with you on that one, T. Zizza. Right now, the system is made for the elite. And in order to get down on that elite, we got to go get inside of their goddamn heads. We going to have to bring them to the goddamn table. We are tired of this shit. As what's it say? We shall over fucking come. We got to bring it back. We got to bring it back. We got to revisit our goddamn civil rights ancestors. We got to bring this shit back. We think it's fixed. And it's only fixed because you're satisfied with the sprinkles on top of the cake. It satisfies. Oh, look, that satisfies you. Is that enough? Is it going to be enough for your generation coming up? Because word on the street right now, the word on the street, you ain't heard it from me. Is y'all let that Trump back in there. Trump gonna divide this shit up and get exactly what the fuck he want in his next 4 terms. You're going to see discrimination again at its finest. Racism at its finest. You're going to see it. Then what? You're going to jail, try to fight it. Because the law's going to, they slapping in them underlying ass laws to get your ass. You're sitting there hoping that the goddamn Black Panther movie could come down and get your ass out like they did Malcolm X. I'm just saying. We need to focus on the injustice of the case when we speak publicly. People may think that he is guilty, but they are not willing to accept him being treated unjustly. To stop fighting. I love you guys hard. 5 minutes. All right, y'all. Y'all gave me 5 minutes. Oh, my God. All right. Y'all gave me 5 minutes. All right, then. I think we're going to do the 5 minutes, though. We're going to do the 5 minutes. Yay. Wait a minute. Let me play this. Let me play this. I got to play this.
One thing y'all to know, you're fucking with a boss, bitch. One thing y'all to know, you're fucking with a boss, bitch. One thing y'all to know, you're fucking with a boss, bitch. Thought you One thing y'all to know, you're fucking with a boss, bitch. One thing y'all to know, you're fucking with a boss, bitch. One thing y'all to know, you're fucking with a boss, bitch. Thought you One pop asterisk, commentary classic. Went and tell the news, she told the news and done smashed it. Went around and learned the game and got that game mastered. Say you got the T, but she got the T faster. Fools pull the wool, limbs they lay 'em faster. She's a boss bitch, so you'll never get it past her. Funky Fridays, it be fun if you play it right. Me, I like the ladies, so you see me up on ladies' night. Pat got the game tight, play the game so right, so fly. You can laugh and cry in the same night. One Pat Poos got to put the name up in lights. One Pat Poos got to put the name up in lights. One thing y'all.
Okay, this is what I saw. You guys. And it sucks. An audio was played, right? And on that audio, you heard 2 voices, okay? You heard 2 voices. One of them was Bookham's. The other one was Randy Baby. I listened to her play that, right? And in my opinion, it made neither one of them look good. I'm sorry. I don't give a damn because you dropped an audio where now there's a big fight going on between these 2 people. You were on the audio with Bookham. At that time, they were good friends. At one point, Bookham wanted to entangle. All of that good stuff. I get these people. Everybody wants Bookham to go down. All information has been dropped. All audios has been dropped. And all of this. And that goddamn clown still sitting right over there laughing at everybody. When you drop something like that, people, it makes you look just as guilty as that motherfucker. If he was on that tape by himself, I would have been like, okay, you look just as guilty than the other person when you are on there together. And I don't give a fuck how y'all put that shit. There is no way. And I am okay a little bit, it's very little, of watching their unity of what they do. I live by a different code. There is no freaking way. And I'm telling y'all this to the fullest. There is no fucking way after hearing it and then processing it and knowing it. You just can't jump out of a lion's hole where the actions were done by everybody and then jump out here with the godly and the holy. And I'm sorry, but now I could do this, so I'm going to be over here. You can't do that. You got to go prove yourself to somebody motherfucking else, because it ain't going to fucking happen. It ain't going to fucking happen. As Curtis as my witness. It ain't. You cannot do it. You are not allowed to keep using Jesus to prove to me, after everything that I have heard, the only place that you can regain redemption is probably sitting somewhere in that little priest closet, steady talking to him. See, because if you don't fix yourself first, and fixing yourself is not an overnight process. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. It's not an overnight process because you did a prayer. Prayer change. I get it. Prayer change. Yeah, prayer done changed your goddamn mind that this is what the hell you done did. Now go sit the hell down, because I just might not be done with you yet. Go sit down. That's what I heard, y'all. So if you or me or anybody else is caught up and you know that you were engaged in some demonic ass fucking activity with somebody, you as well is just as guilty as the next person. You see it going on in the laws, right? You see it going on in the laws all day. Ain't that's what the hell that they just did? We just talked about that. Isn't that what we try or would like to see a lot of people fight? That is exactly the scenario. Is what's going on with Randy Baby and Booker. You want people the same way the people want this prosecuting ass team to not put this shit on Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly about Mr. Williams. This is exactly what you want. But you guys sat over there claiming that you were Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. I'm for Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. That's who I am freaking with. The moment, not the fifth time, not the sixth time, the moment, the first time that they saw or they knew Bookham was on this crap was their time to escape from it. That first fucking time. They did not. They kept allowing him to reel them in. Talk this. Send me this information. Do this for me. Do this for me. Carry out all of these freaking missions for this man that was not helping Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly at that time, but wanting the redemption from the people right now. You guys do what you want to do, and one papoose gonna pass it up. I'm sorry. And when I said that I could not be a part of the New York March, that's exactly what I meant. Y'all asses is dirty. Dirty than a motherfucker. Can't do it. Can't do it. It's like my feet is stuck in quicksand. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't, something will not allow me to even put one foot in front of the other. Not even on the forgiveness part or I'm sorry part. I don't know what it is. I'm not even going to question what it is. If I can't find the answer within me, then that's telling me an answer don't even exist. Move the fuck around. That's what it's telling me. You can't find an answer to why something is telling you what not to or what you should to do. It's like leave it alone. Leave it alone. But that's what I saw on that. That's my 5 minutes on that shit, you guys. You were on the audio with this person. I don't understand what it is that was trying to be proved on there that you knew that. Like the audio was old as fuck. Old. Not that old, but old. Why is it just now coming out? When is the moment going to come that you guys going to say, well, we got him? Or is this about, oh, we just going to keep on dropping some shit on them, but y'all on the shit with them? Make that shit make sense? I'm just saying. Doesn't make sense to me, you guys. Didn't make sense. You say, yes, you are right in a heap of seeds, but only a few. Well, yeah, I know. I'm just saying, though, and I'm not, they do go and do what it is that they do. Go on and do what you do. But I question myself, right? Here I go questioning myself. And I did get an answer on this one, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all the answer to this one that I got. Because I did get a question. Alexa, play some jazz.
Here's a station you might like. Ultimate Jazz on Amazon Music.
So, here's what I got an answer to. This person has now come out to kind of be a spokesperson of Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. That's cool and dandy. You're getting the information. I don't speak on his kids at all with no situations of what they're going through. Those kids still have parental guidance out here. So when I see it, and I hear it, and I read it, I look at it that way. One may be gone, but they still have a whole lot of other ones. So trying to bring out the sympathetical part about it because, Robert Sylvester Kelly, and, she needs her dad, and her dad's going through some things right now. The reality of it. It's the reality of it. It's nothing he can do. There's no need of putting salt on a wound to make other people feel so sad and put that. No. The good part about it, a way I felt the light should have been shedded on his child, no worries. No worries. We can't stress Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly about that. She's got parental out here. She still has grandparents. That girl will be seen to. Make people happy about some things sometimes. Keep that happy energy up going sometimes. You think Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly want to hear about everybody out here that's old and and you talking about you wonder why you gonna kill him? Y'all gonna kill a goddamn man. That's who gonna kill him. Put some happy shit out here. She's not out here alone. She has parental people. I wouldn't want you guys to be calling and bugging my goddamn man who is facing a goddamn life's goddamn sentence when he has his children out here being seen to by parental people, adult people, family people. They are out there. I would have put that out there to be happy energy, you guys. No worries about her. She has a mother. She has a grandmother. They're going to take care of her. She's going to be just fine. Nope. She gonna be just fine. No worries, Mr. Kelly. We think they gonna take care of her. You worry about getting yourself up out of there so that you can be with her. But they don't look at it like that. Everything got to be so goddamn sad and dramatic. Like, ugh, knock it off. God, happy energy works shit out, not the sad shit. Like I say, you got the little G and the big G. Pick your goddamn struggle. Don't make no damn sense. Adults, crime, pick your chin up. Fight this shit with the happy energy. Helps you think. It helps you think. But she sits over here, the spokesperson. So I ask myself, and I know Robert Sylvester Kelly, they say, is this loving person and this forgiving person and all of these things, right? Wonder what he would say if he knew the type of person these people were from the beginning. Wonder if he knew. What if he gets hold to all of that other stuff that's on those audio tapes, and then you come back and say that I was sorry, I didn't know what I was doing, or whatever. I answered that shit. And my answer to it was, I'd have been told you to get the fuck on. Because if you're going to be loyal, if you were going to be down for me, it shouldn't have been no slips from day one. That's just how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. Shouldn't have been no slips from day one. All that wicky-washy ass shit, because if they was wicky-washy then, they wicky-washy now. It is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. My 5 minutes is up. My 5 minutes is up. My 5 minutes is up, y'all. Let's get up out of here. Thanks for coming out to the show. Thanks for coming out. You guys hearing me rant today. Nobody called in. That's okay. We'll get you back in here on Saturday night live with the ladies tonight. Beauty, Sizzle, Curtis, Ray. Curtis, Ray, thank you for showing out. Thanks for coming and showing out with me, supporting me, sharing. Thank you. Empress, thank you for showing up and showing love on the channel, my moderator. Thank you. Stack too, thank you as well for coming out, baby. But I guarantee you, they got more teeth in her mouth than them niggas that you fall in love with there, honey. Them the niggas you need to hurry up and make a damn appointment to. We not gonna get into that because Pap knows how her dick is clean and in good shape. So, but you supposed to put that out there. I think that was fine. Oh, he said the stack tooth and no edges. But I don't have any edges. I don't have any edges. Yes, you are right. We read that. Thanks, Bernille. Thank you, Bernille, for coming out. Tilda, thank you for coming out. Girl, appreciate you. Appreciate you. Now, y'all know it's only gonna be if you don't have a show up. I'm gonna let them people, type of people come in here, and I'm going to ask all of you to excuse yourselves to the room while I attack them one on one. They gonna get they day. They gonna get they day. Don't think they just sitting out here and she just fall back and she this and she that way, but they just don't know. They just don't know. But however, I wanna get down when I feel like it. Not because you call me now. Remember, no stacked, no edges. I get down when I want to get down. Because you are searching for my Okay, I'm back. You couldn't hear because the mic is not on that screen, sweetheart. That's why. Just keep in mind, you guys, before we get up out of here, legally and by law, because of the laws that are in place, they can hold Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly close to 2 years before they start the trial. 2 years is the max. 2 years is the max. They can. And that's by law. Go and look it up. So, you guys go. You have a beautiful day. I'll probably hop around a little bit, and Stack Tooth better not be nowhere out there, because I'm gonna get that person, y'all. No, I'm not. I'm bigger than that. I see you guys coming up sometime through the middle of the week, where we will have fun on one of the lives. Thanks for coming out, you guys. Gotta go. I gotta go.